What's up, everyone? Matt back for another real review. And today I'm here to talk to you about a film that drops tonight. Screenings just started if you haven't already gone into the theater to watch it. And that is none other than Twisters. That is right. A legacy sequel, 30 years almost in the making, that not a lot of people asked for. So I'll be frank. Twister scarred me as a young kid. Not the movie. No, not the movie. The Universal ride, or not ride, but walk-through experience, interaction type, attraction type deal. So up until February of this year, I had never seen the original Twister. Now, with that being said, when I did watch it, I thought it was a totally fine movie. I can see why it was such a big financial success type deal in the 90s. And when I saw Twisters, I was like, okay, what's the point of this? Does it really need to be made? Is anything really being added from this? And I gotta say, I'm really shocked because Twisters, in my opinion, is the better of the two films. And I've talked to a few people who feel the same way, because are there the disaster movie rom-com-esque cliches when you're setting up the relationship between Daisy Edgar Jones and Glenn Powell's characters? Yes. But it's got a better story. And that was really what drew me to this. I was really intrigued because it's about trying to figure out a way to kill tornadoes and help solve the tornado crisis that's going on in Tornado Alley in Oklahoma. And I was just thoroughly impressed. It starts off a little rough, but once it really finds its legs, which I want to say is around the second storm scene in Oklahoma, or I should say the second storm scene when she's recruited to get back into chasing storms with her buddy, played by Anthony Ramos. That's when the film really started to pick up for me, and I had a ton of fun with it. Now, it isn't Twister, and that's something that I really liked about this, because a lot of legacy sequels just rely on using all these legacy characters and similar plot points, which there are still similar plot points to a certain degree, but it goes in a totally different direction than Twister did. But what I really respected is that outside of Dorothy, I didn't really see any connections to the original Twister film. This movie was a movie that stood on its own without relying on its predecessor, which was refreshing to see, especially when it comes to these legacy sequels that we keep getting. The main three, let me just, overall cast was great. I enjoyed David Cornsweet, who is our new Superman, as the kind of Carrie Yule's character in Twister, but he's that type of character in Twisters. But I really enjoyed the main trio that we focus on, which is Glenn Powell, Daisy Edgar Jones, and Anthony Ramos. And the charisma, the genuine connection you feel between these characters, you see grow, the history and battle scars you see between some of them. It was just overall an interesting and fun watch. The science in this is more interesting than the original, because ultimately Daisy Edgar Jones' character is a scientist who's trying to figure out how you can interrupt a Twister and essentially kill it, make it suffocate on itself. And that is a really cool and interesting premise. The effects were just great. And Glenn Powell is just, without a doubt, one of the most charming actors. I know some people may say that I don't know how you waste Glenn Powell in this film, which I disagree, because ultimately it's not his movie. It is Daisy Edgar Jones' character's movie, and she is just magnetic when she's on screen. I couldn't take my eyes off but the chemistry between the two of them was just awesome. She is the lead in this film, similar to how Helen Hunt is the lead in Twister, and Glenn Powell is essentially her Bill Paxton. So I really enjoyed this. Outside of the early on issues and cliches, it's a really strong, fun summer movie, and it harkens back to the mid-90s action flicks. So if I'm giving this film a rating, I'm going with 4 out of 5. Like I said, those cliches hurt. Doesn't start off the best, but once it moves past those and into its own story, it really gives us something fun and enjoyable to watch this summer. So that's my review on Twisters. Are you going to go see it this weekend? I think you should, but if you are, or if you've seen it and you're watching this after seeing it, let me know in the comments. And also, be sure to check out our sister channel, Watt Gaming. That's where all of our Twitch streams go. Taylor has been playing RoboCop, and he just finished that, so you can check out all the RoboCop streams. He just started a Mass Effect stream series, so be sure to check that out. And I started playing College Football 25, so if you're a sports fan and you want to see me take a horrible school in terms of football in the Akron or University of Akron Zips and turn that program around, go check out my series. I'm doing that right now, having fun with that. So, yeah. But until then, folks, thank you for tuning in. Remember to like, subscribe, and follow everything we're doing over here at Watt Real Entertainment. We'll see you next time. I'm Matt, and this was another Real Review.